I'm indeed delighted to be here today to deliver the keynote address at the maiden Abuja Petroleum Roundtable. Let me start by thanking the organizers for inviting me to share in their efforts to deliberate on Nigeria's social problems from a private sector-led perspective. It is expected that the result of the deliberations at this roundtable would provide a critical linkage between the private sector and sustainable development of the Nigerian economy. Petroleum exploration activities in Nigeria started at the beginning of the last century with a production that attained the 50 years mark last year. Production of oil was virtually as a commodity item for export, with little value added except for refining to satisfy only the domestic market. This trend of exporting crude oil has persisted while associated gas were applied since it was considered a production nuisance, especially when crude oil was not more than $10 per barrel. In addition, areas of gas utilization in burgeoning industrial areas of Lagos, Ibadan, Kano were remote from the prosperous Niger Delta region. In the last decade, there has been a steady global shift from oil to natural gas, so that natural gas now accounts for about 20% of the worldwide energy consumption. In fact, this strategic shift has only been reflected in the activities of oil industry in Nigeria, with the gas projects, Escravos, NGL, Nigeria LNG, also NGL, executed by various JV companies and NNPC, while other gas projects are in the incipient stages, such as Brass and OK LNG. It is, however, paradoxical that social economic development in Niger Delta has not kept pace with the development of oil industry. This disconnect has generated a lot of resentment and the fuel community crisis and the youth restiveness in the Niger Delta. President Olusegun Obasanjo, in his electioneering campaign in 1999, observed that the infrastructural deficiency in Niger Delta and the promise to redress it if elected. In keeping with his promise, Mr. President sent the Niger Delta Development Commission Act as one of the first bills for passage by the National Assembly. NDDC has since the year 2000 been involved in massive infrastructure development projects such as road, electricity, water, Medicare, and so on and so forth, and the capacity building in 9 member states, NDDC member states. Funding of NDDC has been provided by the federal government and the oil companies operating in the Niger Delta. Youth restiveness and the communal clashes were as a result of the desire to share in the revenue occurring from oil. In addition, there was an abysmal contrast in the living standard of the oil companies through skill acquisition. Employment of skill use will be in industries that are energy driven. Electricity supply to the Delta region needed some improvement to fuel industrialization. In fact, Bayelsa State only got connected to the national grid in the late 2006. It was a realization of this electricity deficiency that Mr. President approved 7 national integrated power projects in the Niger Delta. These have been plans allocated in each of the Niger Delta states and are expected to generate over 2,400 megawatts into the national grid, and that dramatically improve electricity supply in the area. Obasanjo administration has made a tremendous effort in providing sustainable development in the Niger Delta region after years of neglect. A lot still needs to be done with a more concerted effort through public-private sector participation. This will involve initiative focused on utilizing the petroleum sector as the platform for the development of both the Niger Delta and the nation. Your deliberation will no doubt propose suggestions that will be utilized in drafting a roadmap for the developing the national economy with the petroleum sector as a catalyst.